This evening, wreaths will be laid in the following order. Representatives of the Mottarelli family. His Excellency, Mr. PIER Francesco ZAZO, Ambassador, Embassy of Italy, and Colonel Antonio Coppola, Defence Attaché, Embassy of Italy. Representatives of the Italian-Australian Veterans Association will now step forward together and lay their wreaths beside the pool of reflection. Mr. Peter Everly, President, RSL ACT Branch. Representing HMAS Canberra, Captain Chris Smith, Commanding Officer, and Seaman Medic, Fallon Woodbury. Visitors and students to the memorial will now lay wreaths.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Private Ferdinando Mottarelli. Ferdinando Mottarelli was born in 1881 in Albassagia, Italy, to Pietro and Maddalena Mottarelli. He attended the local school and went on to become an important wage earner for the family. He had also spent some time in the Italian army. He migrated to Australia at the age of 23 and soon became known as Fred. Shortly after his arrival, Mottarelli went to Rutherglen in Victoria, where he worked for 3 years on the Mount Ophir vineyards. He later lived in Broken Hill before moving to Bendigo, where he intended to set up his own business. Fred Mottarelli enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force in November 1914 and was posted to the 2nd Reinforcements to the 7th Battalion. After a short period of training in Australia, he left for overseas service, going first to Egypt for more training and then to the Gallipoli Peninsula. Little is known of Mottarelli's individual experience on Gallipoli. The 7th Battalion rode ashore at Anzac Cove in the early hours of the 25th of April 1915. Many came under heavy rifle fire and took up a position under cover along the edge of the beach. They later became mixed in with units from other battalions over the course of the day. It took several days to sort the muddle out and establish the battalion's position at the head of Happy Valley. After several days of digging and improving trenches, the 7th Battalion was withdrawn and sent to Cape Helles, where they arrived on the 6th of May. 2 days later, the battalion was drawn into the Second Battle of Krithia. Given just half an hour's warning, the battalion attacked German positions under heavy fire and then dug in under cover of darkness. The brigade suffered enormous casualties during the action, with as many as a third of its men becoming casualties. The 7th Battalion reported 250 casualties the following morning. Private Fred Mottarelli was one of those missing in action after the operation. Little is known of Mottarelli's fate. A court of inquiry held in August 1915 determined that he had been killed in action in the attack of the 8th of May at Krithia, but his body was never recovered. Today, Fred Mottarelli is commemorated on the Helles Memorial on the tip of the Gallipoli Peninsula. He was 34 years old. He is also commemorated here, where his name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, among more than 60,000 Australians who died during the First World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Ferdinando Mottarelli and all those Australians who have given their lives in the service of our nation.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post. They shall grow not old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget.